to go now to former NYPD Chief of Detectives and ABC News contributor Robert Boyce. Robert, thanks for being here again. The Attorney General, he just said he's launching this investigation into the Minneapolis Police Department, and they're looking for any unlawful or unconstitutional policing practices. How significant is this probe?
It's going to be a pretty in-depth probe, and they're going to find some things because I looked to the Ferguson Police Department, and they found a discriminatory practice of deployment into minority neighborhoods that other neighbors weren't seeing. So you can see policy review, patterns, practices, procedures, all these things. The patterns, are they discriminatory when they look at things, when they look at arrests, disciplinary procedures? It's a really in-depth investigation, and it's tough for any department to withstand it. Now, if they don't make changes, and I believe they will, the civil penalties will be overwrought, and you have to. So I see big changes coming. I think the Floyd family can expect that. And the Minneapolis Police Department, they had two really horrible shootings that I can think of off the top of my head. But Floyd and the other fellow who's doing time in jail. So it's really bad there. I see it changes. I really like Chief Arredondo. He has made changes. However, this is going to take other steps as well. No more neck restraints. That I see coming down the line as well in any place across the country. If any chief out there is still supporting those, he or she needs to be replaced immediately.
How do you think law enforcement officers and other members of the law enforcement community will react to the news of this probe?
Well, I think if you didn't expect this coming, this is the other shoe falling, if you will. After the criminal trial, you're going to see this. What happened there? What went wrong? And there's nothing wrong with it. It's a good practice to get better, because we're always looking to get better and make changes in our department. So you'll see this. We had this in the NYPD US. We have oversight here, looking at our practices and our procedures. There's nothing wrong with it, and we'll take the outside information and make changes as well. It's an ever-evolving world. So I think most clear-thinking police executives will embrace it.
And it seems like there are two goals with an investigation like this. One is to uncover any wrongdoing and obviously fix it, but also to instill more trust in the public, for the public to know that their police departments are doing the right thing, and if they won't, they'll be held accountable. So on that note, I want to take a look with you at the initial report that the Minneapolis Police Department issued right after George Floyd's death. And it says, man dies after medical incident during police interaction. Now, among other issues, it makes no mention of Chauvin restraining Floyd. It only says officers were able to get the suspect into handcuffs, and it noted that he appeared to be suffering from medical distress. Now, knowing what we know now, how significant are some of the omissions in this police report, and how do you fix that in order to instill more trust when the public reads these kinds of reports and there is no video to show us what happened?
So at that juncture, they should have had a death in custody investigation launched immediately. Can't say that. It doesn't sound like they did. They just encapsulated it properly, somewhat incorrectly. So once you have a death in custody, you have investigative units to respond. We changed our policy in New York City as well. We've created the Force Division. So the Force unit would come and do an immediate investigation to see what actually happened there by going into body-worn cameras, fixed cameras around in and around the area that was, going and doing canvasses, all sorts of things, looking at the officers if they had any prior incidents where they had or any monitoring lists. So this is what should have happened. You should, a death in custody is treated quite seriously, and it's not something you can just put on a few lines. I don't know if they did that. They should do that, and they will do that going forward, having an immediate response to investigate these incidents of a death in custody.
And in terms of being able to trust what we read in a police report, how important is it for the public to know that, and how important is it to hold the people responsible accountable if a police report doesn't match up with the events that actually happened?
So I think it's important to get the information out so you don't have misinformation going out there. So each police commander in that city should have a Twitter account to put information out, to get in touch with those who are investigating and come together with a group to put information out so you don't have misinformation, which we've seen throughout time. Rumors go around and it gets bad, and people react to those rumors. And when it's more often than that, it's not factual. So I think putting out there, getting Twitter accounts, using social media, get information out there, let them know what happened, let them know you took immediate action insofar as the officer's standing, if he's a modified or if he stayed stayed on there or not she stayed on there. You have to get that out immediately to be transparent and get the word out that you see it, you acknowledge it, and you're moving forward on it.
So, Robert, in this case, were it not for that bystander video shot by a 17-year-old, do you think that we'd be talking about George Floyd's case today?
I don't know. I don't know if he would have been. Let's put it this way, Diane. I don't think he might not have been convicted without that bystander video. That's today's world. We see it all the time. The handheld phone camera has changed policing. No one does suppression policing anymore. If you do, it's just going to get worse and worse. Investigative policing is the way to go. Precision policing, where you identify certain criminals that are causing the main drivers of crime, and then pursue them. Not this blanket type of policing we call suppression policing. So we've seen changes, and a lot has to do with the camera. I salute it, and I have no problem at all that young girl was young woman, I should say, was very courageous in doing so. I think it changed the whole trajectory of the trial itself.
All right. Robert Boyce, we appreciate your time as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.